Fancy a cuppa? I'm chuffed to bits, you wanka. Welcome back. Hello. Thank you for joining me today. 10 British phrases that always confuse me. Let's see. Watch Mojo UK coming in strong with the high quality content. Let's see. 10 British phrases.
Don't you remember the Crimbo Din Din we had with the grotty Scotchman?
Oh, the one that was all sixes and sevens.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, she was a travelling stripe, but a Morris dancer lived up the apples and pears.
Let's not waffle on.
Is Austin Powers as popular of a series as it was here in America? Over there in the UK, I bet it is.
On and overegg the pudding, or we'll be here for donkey's years. So, welcome to Watch Mojo UK, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 British phrases that will always confuse the rest of the world.
Was there a need to show that shot right there?
10 British phrases that will always confuse the rest of the world. Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're celebrating some bog standard bits and bobs of British English. But there's a spanner in the works because these sayings make no sense to anyone else.
Spare me the confused innocence, Jane. We're both far too long in the tooth.
Number 10, Bob's your uncle.
This will go in here, and Bob's your uncle.
Oh, apparently it means like, you know, poof, abracadabra. Bob's your uncle. I would have thought that meant like, you look familiar. You know, Bob must be your uncle.
Abracadabra, is this your card?
No.
Even if Bob really is your uncle, what's he got to do with anything? A saying said whenever a plan is executed, non-Brits might feel more familiar with the similar and Americanized idiom, hey presto, or the French phrase, et voila. Some linguists trace Bob's your uncle back to Arthur Balfour, who succeeded his uncle Lord Salisbury as Prime Minister in 1902.
But like presto and voila, you know, those are like, voila, presto. It doesn't seem like Bob's your uncle. Doesn't exactly roll off the tongue.
Balfour's critics claimed he only got the job thanks to his familial connections.
Bob's your uncle.
Okay.
Number 9, a car boot sale.
Love a car boot, baby. Love a car boot.
I mean that must mean like a garage sale, but out of the back of your car boot.
While boot sales are a kind of cultural institution in the UK, this term can bewilder anyone not born in Blighty. First off, the car boot itself causes confusion, given that American English calls a car's storage space its trunk. But then, there's the actual concept itself, which makes a stateside garage.
So do you call, on the new electric cars that have a trunk in the front, do you call that like a front boot?
Sales seem very small fry.
That is 182 bottles of body lotion. I was going to sell them at a car boot sale.
Driving for miles to show off your second-hand stuff on a fold-up decorating table, and somehow selling Delia Smith's Christmas cookbook from 1997 for £2.50, it's all brilliantly British.
Well,
So it's more like a flea market type deal. It's not actually selling it out of the trunk.
Christmas time is party time.
Number 8, a good old chinwag.
No good.
A good old chinwag. I think that means like you're getting, you know, like someone's getting a stern talking to, a good old chinwag when we get home after you act up as a kid.
Stood round here chin wagging. Human race should gossip all day.
Enjoyed by friends over a coffee, a pint, or on the walk home from work, this basic Britishism breathes new life into any conversation. With satisfying literalness, the term triggers anyone who hasn't heard it before to imagine chins rising, falling, and flailing around like an excitable dog's tail. Of course, given that a good old chinwag is the same as an overdue gossip, the mental image of mouths
Oh, I'm ready for a good old chinwag.
speaking quickly isn't too far away.
Go on, go on, go on, go on, go on, go on, go on.
Number 7, have a butcher's.
Have a butcher's. Have a butcher's. Gosh, that doesn't even sound grammatically correct. Have a butcher's what? Have a butcher's, so it's like Hey, you don't like my food? Go have a butcher's. Because you've got better taste. You know, you must have some fine taste to go have a butcher's chicken leg.
And so, we've come to Cockney rhyming slang.
East End, you say?
Wait, what does have a butcher's mean?
I wonder what it's like these days.
So much of British English is born out of London colloquialisms, but if you aren't well versed, then you can quickly struggle. You might say you're Hank Marvin if you're hungry because you're starving, or you'll refer to someone you like as your old china, as in china plate, as in mate, as in friend. But to have a butcher's is one of the most widely used phrases in London and elsewhere, and it simply means to have a look. Butcher's hook, look, see, it's simple.
I don't get it.
See what we've got. Let's have a butcher's, eh?
Number
Have a butcher's. That is so random and like totally unrelated to what it means. I would have no clue.
6, chuffed to bits.
I played
Chuffed to bits. That just must mean you're laughing your butt off.
5 eggs this morning. 5! How chuffed with that I was.
It sounds very painful, but it's actually quite pleasant. In today's lingo at least.
Like you're tickled.
We Brits describe ourselves as chuffed whenever something has gone exceptionally well, like A-star exam results or a favourable football score.
Chuffing, no.
However, the etymology of chuff includes it being used as a 16th century adjective for an overweight person and as an alternative noun for someone's bottom or their genitalia. If something's up the chuff, it's in a bad way. So, the chuff to bits now means excessive happiness is quite a considerable leap.
So I'm happy about that.
Yes.
Sure.
So I was close enough, but I guess it means you're kind of like more proud of yourself. Like I'm chuffed to bits. I just did that.
Number 5, what a plonker.
It means you're a moron.
Lonka.
A phrase made famous by Del Boy, usually at Rodney's expense. Plonker fronts a family-friendly set of soft British insults, all designed to deride someone for their stupidity, but usually in a playful way.
You pelonka.
As well as the only fool's favourite, there's pillock, prat, nitwit and numpty, while you might also salute someone's waning intelligence by saying they're a few sandwiches short of a picnic. Only in Britain does it make sense to match a person's mental prowess with what they might be having for lunch. Number 4, spend a penny. To eat.
Spend a penny. It means you're a cheap ass. You know, spend a penny once in a while. Jesus. You cheap, frugal MFer.
Traditional euphemism which sometimes confuses even British folk below a certain age. To spend a penny is to use the toilet.
Oh, because you have to pay to use the toilet.
The term dates back to the mid-1800s, when coin-operated locks were fitted onto lots of public loos, so there really was a charge if you needed to relieve yourself.
Oh, is that not the case anymore? Because I know that's common in Europe.
A century or so later, and the cost of visiting the toilet had skyrocketed to 10 or 20 pence. But the saying stuck around simply as a polite, indirect way of letting others know what you were up to.
Excuse me, Bruce, I have to spend a penny. Go for your life.
I love that. That's good.
Don't fall in.
Number 3, Sod's Law. Given that one
Sod's Law. That must be something, you know, like, I mean, yeah, that's Sod's Law. If you park next to the cart return, your car's gonna get scratched. It's gonna get dinged by the cart at a grocery store. That's Sod's Law.
One meaning of sod has the word relating to grass or turf. It can be tricky to see how Sod's Law started.
Why is it dispose? You keep on saying me.
Sod's Law.
It's often compared to Murphy's
So it just means fate, maybe?
Law in America, though Sod's Law is slightly more severe. You could call it the exact opposite to a win-win situation. Red traffic lights when you're running extremely late, that's Sod's Law. Staying in for a delivery but missing it because you took a shower, that too. Booking a beach holiday but getting rain all week.
So it's kind of like if anything can go wrong, it will go wrong. And when it does, that's Sod's Law. Some bad luck.
Good God, it's annoying.
I could puke.
Number 2, on the pull.
On the pull, it means you're on the prowl. You're out there, you're trying to pull some ladies.
A close cousin to what Americans call hooking up or getting lucky, head to the city centre on a Saturday night and you'll soon catch on.
I think I nailed that.
Whether someone's on the
Ew.
pull, they're pulling at that precise moment, or perhaps they've just been pulled by someone else, it all relates to the purposeful pursuit of romantic or sexual relationships.
You want my advice? Yeah, go where the sex is.
The only thing similar, like, it is similar when people say, you know, I pulled her. Some guys might say that, like, oh yeah, I pulled her. I pulled her last night, you know. What happened to that girl? Did you pull her? Yeah.
It's exactly what I was thinking.
And British slang terms for the various stages of pulling are pretty plentiful too. To chat up is to talk to snog is to make out with, and you can consult Austin Powers for the rest.
Very shagadelic, baby, yeah!
Number 1, swings and roundabouts.
Swings and roundabouts. Swings and it's when you're giving someone, you know, you're talking around in circles, you know, you're not getting to the point. You're trying to, like, go around kind of it's like, get to the point.
An everyday idiom across the UK, today's winner roughly equates to nothing gained and nothing lost.
And I promise I will try my absolute hardest to bring your loved ones back to you, dead or alive.
Said whenever the pros and cons of a given situation seem to cancel each other out, the origins of the phrase are largely unknown, although most researchers agree.
Swings and roundabouts. Oh, you know, swings and roundabouts. No one, you know, no harm, no foul. Swings and roundabouts. That's too. It's like a tongue twister. Swings and roundabouts.
On the obvious links to the children's playground, with both playtime options promising equal levels of fun. You might even favour the slide, but it's swings and roundabouts really.
Well, that may or may not be true.
Well, it is true.
Well, it may or it may not be true.
It's throwing me off how none of these movies that they're showing, almost none of the quotes they're saying are in the movie. I'm waiting for them to say swings and roundabouts. They don't.
Do you agree with?
My gosh, Watch Mojo, what's going on? Whew. But that was fun. Very interesting. I like the spend a penny. I might start using that. Spend a penny. Doesn't make any sense because I don't think it ever costs anything to use the toilet here, but I like it. Spend a penny, bro. Go take a piss. All right. Thank you for watching. Have a fantastic day. I hope to see you again tomorrow. Either way, goodbye.